Warning, the following video will contain content that is not appropriate for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alright. What's up, everyone? Welcome back for another one of my Pokemon Battle Revolution rant battles. Fuck yeah. Alright, so I know usually during these Pokemon Battle Revolution rant battles, I like to rant about stuff. But tonight's going to be a little bit different because I have a rather unfortunate thing that happened in my life that I need to discuss with you guys because it may or may not have a major impact on my YouTube channel. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to impact my YouTube channel, but to make a long story short, some stuff has happened in my personal life and whatnot that I need to discuss. So this is a discussion I really didn't think I'd ever be having with you guys, but basically, to make a long story short, for those of you who don't know, I live with my mom in my mom's house, and she has decided that at the end of July, which is the month I'm actually, a little bit before July. It's currently June, but my mom has decided by the end of July that I have till the end of July to pack up my stuff and get out of her house. Now, it's a bit of a long story as to what transpired to get us to that point. But yeah, basically the situation is that I am essentially being kicked out of my mom's house. That being said, I'm not too worried about the situation at all. I'm really not. I've got places to go, I have a dad who lives like 5 minutes away, so I'm not too worried about it. It's just kind of a weird situation. Yeah, again, I wasn't expecting anything like this to happen anytime soon, but, I don't know what other people are thinking in their heads all the time, and it just is what it is. Sometimes bad things just happen to good people, and when bad things just continually happen to people over and over and over again, they just tend to lose sight of what's important, and they tend to lose sight of themselves, and they just fall from grace. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys here. I really do genuinely feel like over the past couple of years, like my mom has been kind of losing it a little bit mentally. Granted, with good reason. I mean, a lot of bad things have happened to her over the past couple of years. No one's denying that. That's for sure. But what really defines you as a person is how you conduct yourself in the worst of times, how you handle the stress. And there's something I've come to realize, is that my mom is really not good at dealing with stress. Part of the reason is because, she's one of those people who kind of stresses out over every little thing, whereas I'm the polar opposite of that. I probably don't stress out enough about things that I really should, to be honest. So we're kind of polar opposites in that regard. I've always kind of felt that way, but especially these past couple of years, I really feel like she's been kind of going off the deep end a little bit. She's been a little more unreasonable than before, and it's been stressing me out. So really, in a lot of ways, I think she's doing me a favor by, basically kicking me out of the house. I think she really is. I don't really hold any malice or ill will towards her at all. Because the other day, she at least had the decency to, say, all right, let's sit down and talk about this like adults, and I genuinely appreciate that. It's not one of those things where it's just like, you piss me off, I'm kicking you out, fuck you, she at least, is like, all right, let's sit down let's sit down and talk like adults about this. That's fine. One of the more reasonable things she's done recently. So, we basically sat down and had a discussion about, why things are the way they are and why we've gotten to this point. And I'm going to be honest, I still disagree with her on a lot of things. Like, a lot of things. That being said, though, at least, again, she had the decency to sit down and chat like adults about it. So, because of that, I hold no malice or ill will towards her at all. If I do leave here, it will be on decent terms. Not the best terms, but it will be on decent terms. So as for the reason why I'm getting kicked out, I'm sure you guys are kind of curious about that by now if you're actually watching to this point in the video, which I don't know why you would be. I don't know, maybe you actually genuinely care about me as a person. I don't know. I don't think there's really anyone who genuinely cares about me as a person, but except for a few people. There are a few people, I think, who genuinely care about me, but very few. That being said, though, if I'm being honest, I really don't give a shit. Anyway, on to the reason why I'm being kicked out of the house. And this, to me, is pretty fucking ridiculous, but, whatever. Basically, it's because my mom feels as though I'm not doing enough around the house. Which, again, I think is kind of a load of horse shit, because I actually do a pretty decent amount of stuff around here. Like, just the other day, I did the dishes, took the garbages out, both the garbage and the recycling stuff, which me and my mom actually do a lot of recycling, because, saving the planet and shit. No, seriously, though, it is a good thing to recycle. Always fucking recycle when you can. But yeah, I do the recycling. I bring the garbages down to the curb on garbage day, bring the things back up. I get the mail a lot. I take care of the animals. We have a bird and a dog that I'm basically the caretaker of. And, yeah. So, the reason why, though, that she's kicking me out of the house is because apparently I don't do enough of this stuff without being asked. When I was growing up, I always had this mindset of always do what you are told, which also implies don't do what you're not told. By which I mean, if someone does not tell me to do something, I'm not going to do it. If someone does not tell me, you need to do the dishes, I'm not going to do the dishes. If someone does not tell me that I need to mow the lawn, I'm not going to mow the lawn. I'm very good at taking orders, and getting a job done. That I'm totally fine with. However, when it comes to certain things, I just really don't care, to be honest. Well, it's not even that necessarily, it's just the things I don't care about, I tend not to focus on. Like, for example, I don't like doing the dishes, so I don't focus on it. So, sometimes when I'm, at home or whatnot, I walk by the sink and see, there's a bunch of dishes in the sink. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do something about that later. But, I don't ever feel a need to do it right then and there. But then I get caught up doing other stuff, uploading YouTube videos, playing video games, eating food, sitting on the couch, watching cartoons, like South Park, shit like that. And I just don't think about it. I think subconsciously I do have a lot of selective thinking. I think about the things that I want to think about and don't think about the things that I don't want to think about because, I don't really like doing the dishes, so I don't want to think about it, I want to think about things that make me happy. So I feel like that's also part of the reason why I just don't do things around the house sometimes, and my mom gets kind of annoyed because, she does constantly have to tell me to do stuff around the house, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, okay, but, is it really that big of a deal to have to tell me to do stuff? Like, again, I was always taught to do what you're told. And I do, you know, I might not like it, but, you know, and it might take me a while. Like, if she tells me to do something, you know, I might be like, okay. I might do it a few hours later, or even the next day, or even the day after that, but I do eventually get it done. I just, you know, I get sidetracked. I have my own things I'm thinking about. You know, I have my own things to do. You know, like running the greatest YouTube channel in the history of God. So, yeah, that's the reason, honestly, why she's basically kicking me out of the house. And to be honest, I sort of understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, I still feel like it's a bit of an overreaction to a problem that's really not even that big of a deal. It's not even a problem, in my opinion, but then again, what the hell do I know, right? I'm just some stupid kid playing video games in a basement. But I might not be just some stupid kid playing video games in a basement for much longer. I might be just some stupid kid playing video games in a bedroom pretty soon, so yeah, everything right now in my life is just kind of fucked up. Yeah, it's all fucked up right now. So I don't even really know. I just don't know. So yeah, that being said, though, I still think this whole thing is ridiculous because I still do things around the house sometimes without being asked to. Like, for example, you know, if I see the recycling bin is super full, you know, and I'm trying to put empty soda cans in there and there's no room, like, yes, sometimes if I'm feeling lazy, I'll put the cans next to the recycling bin or whatever, you know, if the bin's full. Yeah, I'll do that sometimes, but a lot of the times if I see it's full like that, I'll just take it out, you know, even without being asked. So I still do things sometimes without being asked. And whenever someone asks me to do something, I usually do it. Again, might take me a little while before I actually get to it, might even be a day before I get to it, but I usually end up doing it a lot of the time. Granted, to be fair, I do forget sometimes, but that's because I'm caught up in my own life, you know? I'm doing my own thing. And I feel like people lose sight of that sometimes. You know, they just expect me to do everything all the time. It's like, you know, I've got my own stuff to worry about. I've got my own life to live. You know, and stuff like that. So, again, I sort of understand where she's coming from, but again, I feel like it's an overreaction to a simple problem, but I don't know. I just don't fucking know. And again, it's not like I don't do stuff around the house. I do. I do a lot of stuff around here, actually. Again, I do the dishes, do everything with the garbages, take care of 2 pets, you know, fold laundry, mow the lawn, which, by the way, we have a huge lawn. It takes me like an hour to mow it. It's no easy task. So again, it's definitely not like I do nothing around here. And it's not like I'm a complete bum, you know? I have a job. I've held down a job for the past 5 years now. For the past 5 fucking years of my life, I've held down a job. So it's not like I'm just some bum lazing around all day. I have an actual fucking job. I'm going to college, so again, I don't know. You know, it's not like I'm just a complete mooch, but at the same time, you know, I don't know. I just really think my mom just overreacts to a lot of things. And I really genuinely think she'd be a much happier person if she just calmed down a little bit sometimes. But, you know, to be fair, it's her house. If she feels as though I'm not good enough, then that's fair. I can't really argue with that. I can argue with the fact that I, you know, don't think that I'm not good enough, because I think I'm more than good enough. But I guess I'm not good enough. It's been a common theme with her ever since I was a kid, you know? I'm not good enough. My attitude isn't good enough. My grades aren't good enough. It always seemed like nothing was ever good enough for her. And, guess I'm still not good enough. But that's alright. Luckily for me, I stopped giving a fuck what other people thought of me a long time ago. Which, again, is part of the reason why I'm kind of a bit relaxed about this situation. Is because, again, I don't really give a fuck. She's not hurting my feelings or anything. Because, trust me, I don't have feelings anymore. I gave that shit up a long time ago. So, yeah, that's the situation. I'm being kicked out of my mom's house by the end of July. Yeah, again, going to be doing one more rant battle after this, talking about potential ways this may affect my YouTube channel, just as a little update to you guys. So yeah, I will see you all next time. Peace out.